My first job was at my family's seafood market when I was younger, and I was a dishwasher. If anyone remembers Sloppy Lobster in Middleton, that was ours. So I washed dishes all day after, especially after school. And I would say the most important thing that I learned was just work ethic and being able to not only help your family out, but see the business grow. So just keeping the grind there and making sure that you keep your head down and make sure everything goes good. So I analyze 3D satellite data, and I'm a part of a team, so I can not only analyze it, but validate and fix issues with it. So you can. It goes into a plethora of different applications. But I work in the 3D sphere, so all the maps of the globe that I'm making are all 3D and at a rather high resolution. So right out of college, I got my degree in geography, and I always thought that I was going to go more into the theoretical space of geography, so more looking at like demographics of cities and how they interact, especially specifically with like transportation. So that's what I thought I was going to be doing, and then the COVID hit, and I was just like, oh, I need a job. So actually, my first job out of college was building ventilators here in Madison. It was definitely fulfilling during the pandemic, so that was definitely super nice. And a great experience, honestly. And then I started working for another geointelligence company. And that was kind of my first introduction into map making at a professional level. That wasn't being done by the government. So yeah, it was amazing. And then that was a contract job. So I then moved on to, now my full-time job with Maxar, and I'm ecstatic about it. It's been such an amazing experience. So I'm falling in love with map making, and I've always been in love with maps. So it's nice to be on the producing side of it. For all people that are, trying to get into the career space, interviewing, especially is really, really hard. And there's so many like good steps that you could take to make sure that you make a good impression to your hopefully future employer. So I would say definitely study and definitely prepare and practice what you're going to say. And I would say the biggest disappointment there was, my first interview out of college. It was kind of rough. I just remember not really knowing how to navigate the professional sphere. But then, after a few disappointing interviews, I started getting better at them. And then I landed my first position, in my career field. So I would say, just practice makes perfect. And, if all the help you can get from your friends or doing mock interviews, those will prove, to be super, super helpful. The first interview you have. I would say just explore. I think even when I got into college, I kind of only knew about a few different career paths. Like, oh, go be a doctor, go be an engineer, go be a lawyer. But I was super, super lucky. I was a part of a pre-college program here in Madison called the Information Technology Academy. And they allowed me to explore, and they gave me a lot of resources, like mock interviews, or they had speakers come in and talk to us. And this was throughout high school. So I got really, really lucky. And I always knew that I loved maps. So I thought maybe let me kind of explore the way maps are being made now. Um, you know, so yeah, that's everything I would say. Definitely explore, network, meet a whole bunch of different people, because you'll meet someone and they'll have the most random sounding job, and then they'll tell you what they do, and then boom, it sounds something that's right up your alley. So I'd say that, and if you could find a mentor, get a mentor, because having someone that has done it before you is super, super valuable. So I would say, I guess the most embarrassing experience is kind of like the getting like you're a deer in headlights. That experience in my interview with Maxar, actually, I just remember them asking me, they go, tell me something about yourself that's not on your resume. And I just could not, for the life of me, figure out what to tell them. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm that interesting. And I'm just, trying to like think in the back of my head. I was like, please wait. And at that moment, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get this job. Like, I'm not, I'm not interesting. Like, what could I say? Like, I feel like I've put my whole being onto onto my resume. So the only, the most basic answer I could say was, oh, like, I love to travel, hoping that that'll try to like relate it back to, we're making maps, we're traveling the globe. Like, so I guess it worked.